Episode 11 of taking every dollar this Integra makes me on social media and putting it right back into the bill. Here's an update on the current budget, which is $4,308. And today we are going to install the most popular modification to our K24 engine. Upgrading to the RSX Type S oil pump is going to allow the car to rev a lot higher, as it replaces the much larger, bulkier, and less efficient K24 oil pump. So I got this kit for $509, and it comes with everything we need to swap it over. The oil pump windage tray, a new oil pump chain, which is a slightly different length, the chain guide, and all of the various bolts needed. These oil pumps also need to be cut and modified slightly to fit onto the K24 block. Now you can do this by hand, but with this kit it actually comes machined perfectly, so it should bolt right on. Okay, first let's go ahead and drain the oil. The timing chain cover also has to come off, so let's go ahead and remove this motor mount bracket, which is held on with 3 bolts. There we go. Flipping the engine over, we can start removing the oil pan bolts, and there's around 15 or so in total. But to actually pull the oil pan off, we need to break the seal of the old RTV. So I got this oil pan separator tool, which actually worked really well. You can just lightly tap it around the oil pan, and after just doing the top part, I was able to lift it off and remove it. And wow, just look at how much bigger the stock oil pump is. Okay, now to remove the crank pulley, and these are notoriously difficult to get off. But I got this weighted socket that broke it loose no problem. Nice, now we can pull off the crank pulley. To remove the timing chain cover, there's again around 15 or so bolts, and you'll also need to remove this VVT solenoid, so just twist and pull it out. Then you can gently pry off the timing cover, and there you go, super easy. This gives us access to the oil pump chain, guide, and tensioner. For the oil pump, there's only 4 bolts that we have to take off. Now all we have to do is remove the 3 bolts holding on the tensioner and pull that off. 2 more bolts for the chain guide, which again we are going to replace. That gives the chain enough slack to be pulled off, and the stock oil pump can be removed. We have to replace the oil pump chain, but the old one is actually behind the timing chain. So to get that off, you can remove this chain guide, which is held on with 3 bolts. And then I actually made a mistake here when removing this tensioner. I should have stuck a pin inside to keep it compressed before removing it, but not a big deal. It'll just be a little more work to put it back on. That will give you enough slack to slip off the timing chain, take off the old oil pump chain, and then put on the new one. Now we can put the timing chain back on, bolt the guides back up, and replace the tensioner. I was able to compress it by hand, and you'll see when I pull this pick out, tension is reapplied to the chain. Perfect. Before installing the new windage tray, there's 2 smaller ones that have to be removed. But first, one of the most crucial steps that you cannot forget. There's a small plug in this oil passage that needs to be removed. You can just tap into it with a small screw and then easily pull it out. And then we're going to take this bolt that came in the kit, coat it in some of this Honda Bond, plug that hole, and then torque it down. If you don't do this step, your engine will have no oil pressure, so don't forget. Now install the new windage tray and torque down all 6 of the bolts. Make sure you put the chain onto the oil pump before you seat it down. And now you can see why it had to be modified to fit. Bolt it down with the 3 bolts that came in the kit and torque them all down to spec. Installing the new guide and the tensioner is very easy, and these can reuse the original bolts. Torque those down to spec, and tension is applied to the chain. And there we go, the Type S oil pump is installed. I did go ahead and scrape off all the old RTV, but I'm not going to seal the oil pan or timing cover back on just yet because we're still working on the engine. But I'm definitely excited to see where this will put the red line when it's done. Also, you guys have been asking for Integra t-shirts, and I finally got them made. And each one also comes with a free sticker, so just tap the link in my bio.